Hey, Maxleets. Ankle mobility is one of the most overlooked movements in the fitness industry. And a lot of times we take it for granted because, we're able to move and manage our body. But one of the biggest things with ankle mobility is that when it comes to your posture, everything that we do is affected from the ground up. So if there's anything that's off, you'll start to see your body compensate by some other area of the body. So for example, you ever tried to stack boxes one on top of the other, right? Whenever they are, perfectly aligned and you put one on top of the other, everything's fine. You got a straight line going all the way up. But what happens if you put one box here and then the next box you just put it slightly off to the side? Well, what happens when you have to put the next box on? When you have to put the next box on, you have to put that one off to the other side to keep that balance. So your body and your posture works the same way. At each joint and area of the body from the ground up, they're like boxes. So you have your feet, then you have the lower part of your leg, right, below the knee, then you have your thigh above the knee, then you have your hip, then you have your torso, and everything else. So whenever you're limited in one area, you usually won't see it until you start to do something mobile. Your body will automatically compensate without you even thinking about it. So one of the biggest things that people struggle with is their ankles. Because the fact that their ankle is not able to flex far enough, their body then compensates by putting more work in another area of the body. Usually in this case, it'll either be the knee for some people or the hip for other people. So it's really good to do an ankle mobility exercise before you get started, especially if you are going to be using your lower body for your workout. Grab a kettlebell, a dumbbell, or some other weighted object. Then you're going to go all the way down into a full squat, so all the way down to the ground. Then you're going to shift back and forth. Notice that my ankles stay down and my heels stay down on the ground as I shift back and forth. The purpose of holding the weight is to help counteract your balance, because when you're going so low into the squat, you are going to be shifting your body back. So you want to hold a weight in front of you to keep balance. Make sure that you're going all the way down, so making sure that your hip is going well below your knees. That way you're not using your quads to hold yourself up. You're focusing on your ankles in this position. If you're not able to go that low into the squat, then you can get a wall or use a wall, put your hands against it, spread the feet apart, and then shift back and forth, keeping your heel on the floor. So notice that you still see the heel on the floor while you're doing this. It's a little bit easier to manage because not many people can go all the way down into the squat. So this is a variation, or I say modification, that you can do that will make it a little easier. You also want to make sure that you're keeping your knees in line with your toes. So keep your knees in the same direction of your toes. Ideally, you want to put your feet at a 45-degree angle. That'll make it a lot easier to maneuver and shift back and forth.